Good morning, beautiful people. I'm listening to a podcast and it's talking about always growing, always changing, always developing, and understanding that you're never going to get to that top point because you just can't. And the importance of sharing your struggles, because when we allow people to think that our lives are perfect, it can be a way of kind of discouragement of being like, oh, that person, they have it all figured out. And for me, who is a coach on accountability, it can be really easy to think that I'm accountable to everything. And I've mentioned this before too. It's easy to be accountable when you are accountable to the right things and not all the things that people think you need to do. However, sharing struggles is super, super important to me because when I first started my business years and years ago, I liked to try all of the things. The eating styles, different diets, cleanses. Some of them I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like a celery cleanse, celery juice for 2 weeks. I tried that once and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But I did this detox, this healing cleanse, and I talk about this in my book, The Accountability Code. But I did this cleanse and I bought all the food and it was super expensive and it was 2 weeks long. It was for anti-inflammation. So I did this thing, and halfway through the 2 weeks, the coach I was following posted a picture of her looking pregnant, and she was like, this is what happens when you cheat, and this is how I look when I'm bloated and inflamed and all gassed up. And I was like, what? 2 weeks. This cleanse was 2 weeks long, and you couldn't do it. You couldn't do your own cleanse for 2 weeks. And I was like, that's pretty pathetic, honestly. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna practice what I preach because it just makes sense. So that whole mindset got me feeling. Let me tell you about another experience and tie them together. So I was at the store. I was at a grocery store I don't normally go to across town. I was just in the area, and I bought a donut. And some lady comes up to me and she says, hey, Marcy, does that donut fit into your diet plan? And I was like, excuse me? I was like, who are you? That's what I was thinking in my brain. But I said, yeah, it does. Smiled and walked off. Because I was like, this person followed me, but she wasn't excited to meet me. She was excited to catch me on something. And I was like, okay. So having the mindset of like, I gotta practice what I preach and do it perfectly, and being able to enjoy a donut, because I have never told anybody that I don't eat sugar, but sometimes people believe that that's what I live by. So in this message of like sharing your struggles, that is one of the reasons I was like, I'm gonna be real online, because I don't want, it's really honestly not fair for people to think my life is perfect. It's not fair to the person you're judging thinking, oh, you have it all together, which is actually kind of funny now that I'm saying this. Last week I was accused of having my life work out perfectly. And I say accused because it was with, this person was coming at me because I wasn't giving them what they wanted. So anyway, my whole purpose of this is sharing. You guys share your life, share the reality, share the struggles, share the growth, share everything that you feel is needed to be out in the world, because you being you is what impacts other people. Not you being the perfect thing, or you being the most accountable, or you being the perfect coach, or you never eating sugar. Like, that's not what is helping people. What's helping people is you being the best version of yourself. So there's a lot of different experiences that helped me put things into perspective. And I guess that's one of the reasons I'm glad I wrote my book, is because it's all the things all in one little package. But I want you to watch this and just really recognize, like, you guys get to be yourself. And that includes your successes, your struggles, your failures, your realness, your judgments, your insecurities, like all of that. So don't ever believe you have to show up and be what other people want, because you being the best version of you right now is the very best thing that you can be.